It's a strange history, Laugharne, because it was a retirement sort of destination for captains of the hierarchy going back, 18th century. And yet it's still got a kind of, a strong Welsh language element as well, big rugby kind of contingent too. So it's got this strange kind of dichotomy of, dinky-dooey postcard tourism, Dillon's, boathouse and the shed, and then it's got this kind of subterranean strangeness. And in a way, I think it's what makes the festival really good.
It's got an amazing literary history, Laugharne. Everybody just thinks first off of Dylan Thomas, which is obviously what the world knows, but Richard Hughes, Irwin in Jamaica, lived in the castle, and he let Dylan Thomas write in the gazebo at the top there where Dylan Thomas wrote Portrait of the House as a Young Dog. But before them, Edward Thomas lived here and wrote his novel The Happy-Go-Lucky Morgans when he lived in Laugharne. Coleridge visited here and wrote about the graveyard at St Martin's. Mary Wollstonecraft, Rights of Women, she lived just outside of Laugharne. So it's always been a place that's attracted writers. Kingsley Amis came down here and wrote The Old Devils, his last sort of great novel, I think, in Laugharne. Even though he was pretty anti-Dylan Thomas, he found it a nice place to come and write. So Laugharne's literary history is strong, and I think this festival keeps it going.
I think part of the magic is that I think Dylan Thomas called it an island, and it still is, because there's 4 miles between Laugharne and St Clair's, there's 4 miles between Laugharne and Pendine, and suddenly Laugharne is all on its own, and there is a magic about it which I cannot say why. It's just there. And when everyone comes here for the first time says there's something so unique about Laugharne, you won't find it anywhere else like it at all. I just suddenly had this brainwave, Laugharne, what an obvious place to do something. And I phoned up John, mentioned the idea to him, and we both thought, I think this could very possibly work.
Yeah, the festival's really grown over the 10 years. I mean, the first year we really only sold a handful of weekend tickets in advance, but we were lucky with the good weather, and just suddenly word of mouth kicked in, and people in West Wales, they don't believe anything's really going to happen until after it's happened. So, the locals are all, you boys are putting on a festival, never work. And then they see Howard Marks, sat outside the pub, and then they see Rhys Evans sat outside the pub, and then they start thinking, oh, maybe something is going on here. And people are all on their mobiles saying, come on, you got to come on down, you got to come on down. And by the end of it, Sunday night after Twin Town was a complete riot. People were up in the rugby club drinking till God knows what hour. And that's, like Richard was saying, that's when we knew this was going to work. And then the word of mouth really just started right there.
I remember having a meeting with Richard and my brother Keith about trying to do something here on the first year, and I did a reading of the Twin Town screenplay with the original cast, and Keith put on the Laugharne's Got Talent, and he's been doing it every year. And I've come here quite a few times to either launch films or do screenings and what have you. And although it's a vibey little place, it's a strange place, Laugharne. It's got a kind of edge about it.
When I first heard that there was this festival down in Laugharne, because I'm based in Swansea and I was deeply involved with the Dylan Thomas industry, and I heard there was a festival here that was studiously ignoring Dylan Thomas, I was like, oh, how dare they do this? But I think that's almost its strength, that it's come to Laugharne, which is identified with him, and yet put on a festival that I think he would like to have attended, but they don't make a big deal about him.
This is a poem which is a conversation between two chickens at the site of the crash. It's called Free Range. I want to be free to do what I want to do, like Marlon Brando. I want to hand in my CV at Nando's, ride a greyhound buzz into the heart of Kentucky and feed the colonel a human butty. Does it really matter where a chicken settles? No, I just never imagined a life in Eccles. And if a Citron Picasso abstract us both in the road, at least we gave our freedom a go. Alright, I'll come. I'm just so afraid to live a life outside of this cage. And if I die today, hen, I know you'll never betray me. But if they make a film of all this, don't let Mel Gibson play me.